or I'm not. I'm 6,000 first year, 1,500 the second and third year, and they're 8,000 a year for 3 years. So if you'll compare, we're talking about $11,000 versus 7. Is that right? No, 3,000, but $9,000 to me versus 17,000 to them. So would I charge a little bit for a redesign? Yes. I believe my design fees section of my proposal was like $750. One thing she did mention about Civic Plus that I may not have included is if we have an upgrade of our content management system, or if we have a system upgrade, that is automatic. You don't pay for those. You know, anything that we do there, that we're going to keep it up to date. Another thing may or may not be important to you. We own our own servers. Our servers are in Alma telephone right in the trunk line, as you understand it. Our servers have 2012. The absolute latest, I just upgraded our major software that we use. We write in Cold Fusion. Everything is the latest that it can be. All the bells and whistles in our software.
What if Alma gets hit by a tornado?
Backup in White Cross. They have a second location in backup, so it's redone. I would like to ask, and I don't know what your time frame is. I know it needs to be done yesterday, but I would be willing to, present a mock-up if I had that opportunity. If it's a decision that, if it's a decision you got to make tonight, base it on the information that you have.
After the third year, I don't think I'm not going to be listening to it. The idea is after the third year, what is the cost after the third year? In other words, we broke this out, it's how much?
It would.
The fourth year and the fifth year and the sixth year?
Right. We would determine whether we want to stay on contract with them. And if we decide to, then they do the redesign for the first year. And then we would pay, again, it would be free. So we pay a maintenance fee. And so in 4 years from now, their prices are subject to change. They're probably subject to go up a little bit. So it would vary, but we would pay the maintenance fee. And then it starts again. We get to pay every year, the maintenance fee every year.
So that's what? Do you remember?
3,000-ish.
How quick can they get a website put together?
They can put a website between 16 to 22 weeks. It's about 5 months.
You gotta be kidding.
They can do it in 5 months. Now, if I recall correctly, through Web Electronics, they said they could do it between 6 to 10 weeks, I believe. Yes. So, and then our other provider, through Michael Stokes, said they could do it in 30 days. And from the committee standpoint, we felt that I think personally 5 months. I've worked with websites in college. I had to do websites and stuff. 5 months to me is even incredible that they can get one up that quickly, because we do as a city, we're going to have a ton of content to put on this, a ton of pictures, a ton of information. And so 5 months, that was even shocking to me because I expected it to be a little bit longer. Now, I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't know, but I put a website together in about 2 hours.
What?
I use GoDaddy and I put my pictures in, and I got news for you. There's several people. Hey, y'all laugh, but there is actually several folks.
That's only because Derek is so.
No, listen, y'all laugh. You laugh, but the Heritage Bank uses GoDaddy. They actually use GoDaddy's software. It's down at the bottom of the page. Heritage Bank, all of Southeast Georgia, uses GoDaddy and literally put a website together. And now, granted, it's a lot. I mean, what we have is a lot more difficult than that. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know, 5 or 6 months.
Well, and it's because
I mean, we ought to be able to get a shell up and start adding to it. Is that not the way this works? I mean, you throw a shell up there that says City of Jesup and start adding content. And literally add content every day. mean, if you're not gonna have the same thing going on every day of the week. I
Right.
mean, you got to be able to,
Yeah, but you don't wanna throw up a shell and then start adding to it, you want, and I think even they would suggest this, you want the website built.
I understand, I
If you go out at night, you want information, everything on it for tomorrow. And then you modify it each day or each week if you need to. You don't wanna put up just a banner and then upload stuff.
yeah, I understand. I'm
The
just,
length of time is, there is a length of time that it takes to build the site, okay? And there's a length of time when you design and build from scratch, okay? But, my understanding was that the city wanted it up quickly. So I gave you a time frame that I believe that we could work in as long as the information came
Well,
to me.
and
Now, if the information doesn't come to me, I certainly can't do it.
And the big deal with website design is not on her end or Civics Plus, it's on our
It's
end.
on our end.
Just getting your content and everything and working with the people and making sure, I mean, because that's your biggest thing. You'll call and say, hey, have you got this? Well, no, give me a day or two, and then it's a day or two. And which is, I mean, she deals with it every day.
the idea that what I was saying is, once you get the basic thing, you're able to change, like, look, things might change every day. You might want to be doing updates to the website, like the first thing you do, walk in the morning and say, oh, we've got this, we need to update the website. Will you be able to do that? You know, and change pictures and so on. Maybe the same front page, the same front page picture is not the picture you're gonna be looking at every day. It might change every day. I mean, it might be, something that the garden club or whatever it amounts to, we want to put that picture on the front page so that people come to our website every day for new content, almost like a news feed, if you will.
Right,
Well,
and
you can actually post content months out and have this one turn on today and a new article come up. I mean,
Yeah.
it works like that. And she's got a system to do it, they've got a system that'll do it. That's the way most websites are done now.
I know and look, I'm not trying to be critical. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's probably a whole lot of our fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but the fact of the matter is, the website is just the same old, listen, every time you go back, it's the same old thing, you know what I mean? It's just literally, it doesn't change at all. And we've got the Arts Fest from 2 or 3 years ago. You go to click the Arts Fest link, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and literally it's 2012. I mean,
Well, that's why we're wanting to change it.
yeah, oh yeah. Now, the idea is,
And we want, right now, we're having to forward stuff, and then when he gets around to it, he does it.
yeah, we need to be able to do that ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, we really do need to be able to do that ourselves. Now, is either one of these, you're the professional, either one of these?
Oh, I manage networks.
Yeah, well, that makes you a professional. You're a professional manager.
You ain't gonna stick your head out there and
Expert.
let those
I'm trying to get it on the block, for goodness sake. I'm trying to get him to stick it out there a little bit. Come on, Nick. I don't know. As long as we have a wonderful professional website,
It's gotta be professional.
I don't care what.
And that's what it came down to, as a committee looking and comparing, and yes, she mentioned they have older websites, but as Commissioner Harris said, is that an excuse because you're working on a big project that, ours is not being modified, every day or whatever? That was a big thing. What looks professional? How is our city gonna be represented? We wanna make sure we have great representation and everything is detailed and on our website, and so that's what it came down to. We felt that they could give that to us. Obviously, they are doing something right. They have a laundry list of cities that they work with. They're doing something right. Every person I've talked to on the phone about it, they would not take back their decision. Easy to manage. Their clerk manages it every day. So that's what we really narrowed it down to, is to what does it look like? Is it professional? And cost for sure, but we want value product. We want something of high quality. And that's why we recommend individuals. Sorry. Any questions?
I don't know.
Will or Cora have anything to add?
We'll just
I think it's good.
have to make a decision.
kinds of places. We have such opportunities here for people to come here, to move here, for business to come here. But if we don't depict those opportunities right there in front of the people as they're, whenever they're in the privacy of their home and they're looking at that site, they want to see something. And they want to be pulled in. And we've got to provide that. And if we can provide that, we need to do that. And it is going to be totally dependent upon us getting the information to that site. None of these people can do for us what we're going to have to do for ourselves. And we're going to have to hold ourselves accountable for having had that happen. So that's going to be really important. But ultimately, are the people that are getting the services, are they satisfied? Did they get good satisfaction out of her website, out of Civic Plus's website, out of the ones that are servicing us now? Those are the questions that you want to ask.
Well, maybe I shouldn't open my mouth about it because I've just walked in, but I've given it a lot of thought. I know what we're up against. I know what is being proposed. And I am very concerned about it. We have local people that has businesses, and theirs might not be up there in the same category as Joe Blow is in another city or county. But if we do not patronize our own people, how can we expect them to grow to make a living in our town? That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'd just like to say one thing, Joan. And I say this from the taxpayer of Wayne County, not as her husband or anything else. But I'm sick and tired of hearing buy local, buy local, buy local. From the Chamber of Commerce, from the county commissioners, and this council. And if y'all move outside the state or outside this city, when there's services provided by people in this county, then I guarantee you, I'm gonna go against y'all on buy local. From the taxpayer of Wayne County, we will go against you. And I know a lot of you have businesses in this city. I'm gonna guide people away from this city to buy whatever. They can go to Brunswick, they can go to Savannah, they can go to Waco. And that's not a threat, but that's a promise. I'm tired of hearing it.
Anything else?
No. So anything?
No.
Ms. John, you got anything?
I sit here listening to everything that is taking place, trying to digest this information. Because as far as websites and all that is concerned, I know very little about any of it, okay? But one thing Ms. Doggett said here was something about a mock, or something of that
The
nature.
mock-up.
Mock-up, okay. How long would it take you to propose that or to present that?
I'll look and find out what it- Page 6. I know I could have it for you by the end of the month, but maybe in 2 weeks. I mean, I really would have, I can't commit to that. I didn't plan on having that part of the conversation, so I really have to look at the calendar, and the calendar with our graphic artists, because that's what we're talking about, it's a mock-up for the graphic artists. So I really need to do that and look at the job schedule. So, I think this is something that I could do. I know I could do by the end of the month, but I could do it within 2 weeks.
And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is that all of this stuff, according to you, It's old, and she has nothing current in the system. So I haven't looked at the website, what she said. So if you have something current, that would be more palatable.
Well, she's got the website, the project you've been working on, right?
Well, and we're launching a redesign here the next few days, and that project, the redesign of that project will, show a lot of our capabilities that you're not seeing right now. And even a couple of the, examples, case studies that I put in my proposal, are in my proposal, and they weren't up there tonight, so, as far as some of our design work, but yes, I would like the opportunity to show you what we're doing.
Well, I mean, the bid package all went out.
So then all three would have to do, I mean, we can't say she can do one, but they can't.
Yeah.
So then we have to open it to the other two providers and say, do you wanna
So the bids are
present it
going.
to council?
Yeah.
Request,
Request, yeah.
It's not a bid.
bid request.
Request for proposal.
RFP, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anybody got anything else before the meeting?
Am I correct or wrong? I'm not that smart on a website. But if you want to update that website, isn't it our place to do that? Or are we supposed to get a specialist in to update our, like with the Arch Fest, we all received a letter. And in order to keep us from getting chastised,
Yeah.
Right now, we have to have somebody do it. We can't do it, but with the
No,
new
I mean,
website, we can.
whoever's handling our website,
Right.
couldn't
have
they
to-
do it? Couldn't they update it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Okay. All right. We got a few minutes, any more discussion on the website?
I beg your pardon?
I said any more discussion on the
No,
website?
thank you.
Okay. All right. We'll, open up the meeting in just a few minutes for our agenda.
Good, how about you?
I'm doing much, much better.
I'm doing great.
Well, I had to look at this one.
He was like, oh, yes, ma'am. I'm like, "Snoop."
Craig, you need me to sign this? Yes. Okay, so the room's already been taken care of, and appreciate you giving me that. I got to look at that thing. Hey, so anybody wants to see, I got to look at the confirmation. I wonder where the confirmation for that thing that Queens tonight. And then I walked in here. Thank you, man.
We won't go if we don't allow them in. Got it started.
Got it started. That looks great.
Are you growing strawberries?
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell us something wonderful tonight?
She's giving everybody one strawberry.
Well, actually, it looks like everybody gets a half.
Half of a strawberry.
On a regular meeting, there'd be enough for two for everybody. You brought them the wrong night, Rose.
It looks like a clear cut, but it doesn't have its stumps and piles and trees and all that stuff.
They don't mess up the water system.
Yeah. They got a buffer zone that's far enough away, if they mess up somebody's water system, they'll do a big buffer.
Rose up there, she has them on the corner for
Right,
us.
right. Most of these people that are complaining, they've only got like 6% water. 25% is running off the surface. My well still running 60 feet. Their well is 18.
They should have never run a shallow well again.
Yeah.
They should have done like they run 300 feet.
Yeah. He had the other man that was very close.
What have they done to start on them?
He had some rib things. He had some rib things. And he's had a little bit of infection. He's okay. That's why I wasn't expecting her to get that.
Speak his name and, hey, Rick.
You do.
Boy.
Thank you.
I got to call the meeting in order. Want to make sure you heard that.
I heard that. I'm busy right now. Go ahead.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor King,
Present.
Commissioner Darden,
Here.
Commissioner Harris,
Here.
Commissioner House,
Here.
Commissioner Nichols,
Here.
Commissioner Reddish,
Here.
Commissioner Townsend.
All right. If y'all please stand for invocation. Carter.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Chief.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, everyone had a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting? Get out to us? Sir? Had a motion from Commissioner Darden, second from Mr. Harris. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, Madam roll call, please.
Commissioner Reddish,
Yes.
Commissioner Darden,
Yes.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner House,
Yes.
Commissioner Nichols.
Abstain.
All right, moving right along, the old business, the approval of amendment of the ordinance for the purchase order to be announced.
Your Honor, this is the first reading. As you'll recall, we have to have 2 meetings and have done the papers. This is the first of 2 meetings after it's been announced.
Thank you.
So there's really nothing else to be done other than this first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Discussion on the regional commission appointments. As you know that, The appointments were tabled that were presented to us due to one of the municipalities not agreeing with it. Spoken with the new chairman of the county commissioners today, Mr. Thomas. They have not made an appointment. They have not submitted a new appointment. Said that they would have that at their next meeting. So for the regional commission appointments, right now it's at a hold. We're waiting on the county to present that back to us with the 3 names. Y'all remember we discussed that at the last meeting? All right. All right. New business. Mr. Dill, can you help me with this one?
Yeah, we have talked several times on our local hotels, and I have asked Mark Townsend, and I think Mark has maybe the supervisor with him tonight to explain how they evaluate and how they inspect the local motels. So I'll ask Mark to come up, or whichever you do.
Thank you.
Got Dwayne Butler with me here tonight, supervisor at Waycross. He's just gonna go over the ins and outs what we do with motels and hotels.
Glad to be here with y'all tonight. Appreciate it, Mr. Mayor and the commission members for having us. I'm Dwayne Butler, and I'm the Director of Environmental Health for a 16-county area. So Mark Townsend and Craig Sims, they work under me, and they're responsible for inspecting all the tourist accommodations in Wayne County. So if you want to get into the hotel, motel, RV park, campground business, bed and breakfast, you have to come to the health department and get a permit in the state of Georgia to operate one of these establishments. We're the first line in the business. The health department is required to do at least 2 inspections during a 12-month period on your facility. There's 38 items they will check for during their inspection. The first 9 are considered critical items. The remaining items are service or operation oriented, to the facility. Wayne County, I think, has about 6 or 7 permitted facilities under our care. And I do know Mark has inspected these facilities 2 to 3 times a year for the last several years. All of this inspection information is listed on the Georgia Department of Public Health website. You can actually go there and pull up the inspections if you want to see them. They're public record. Or anytime any citizen wants to come to the health department, we can show them a copy. The establishments also require to post this inspection in a conspicuous place upon entry of the establishment. So you walk into the lobby of a hotel, somewhere in there, they've got to have a copy of that inspection report. Now, last year, Georgia changed the hotel or the tourist accommodation rules, and I think it was the first change in the code since 1968. So we now have new rules. We sent the establishments a copy of the new rules, and that's what we're doing now. I know yesterday I talked to Mr. Sims about it, and he said, I think a lot of the questions was exactly how bad does a hotel have to get before hearing procedures would start as far as closures or enforcement type action. Have to get pretty serious, to be honest with you. I've been with the Department of Public Health 21 years. Within that 21 years in our 16-county area, I only know of 3 instances where we actually closed a hotel. And one, actually, we agreed for the owner to voluntarily close this hotel. We didn't want to go through the process, but like, look, if you'll close down and work with us a few days, we'll get you back going. The way it stands now is if there's 3 items. We show up and they do not have an approved water source, we can close them on the site immediately. Or if they have sewage that's being inadequately disposed of, they're closed immediately. The other thing, the 3rd item is an infestation of rodent or vermin. So we go in, we see one of these things, we close them on the site, and they're not reopened until we go through the hearing process. Now, in the other areas, we actually have to build a case. We have to cite them for the exact same violation at least 3 consecutive inspections. So once that's been done, and I mean, you think you've got a unit with 40 rooms, you've got to see the same violation in the same room on at least 3 consecutive inspections, All right. Anyway, if we think we've got a case going like this to where it's multiple, they're not doing anything, over 3 inspections, we're talking a year and a half. So if we don't see any improvement on anything in a year and a half, we can build a case. The first thing is we have a hearing with the district medical director. That's Dr. Rosemary Park, she's in Waycross. Mr. Townsend would bring the case, she would hear the case with the hotel operator, Mr. Townsend. She would make her ruling. If she rules in favor to suspend the permit, they've got 10 days to appeal that hearing. It then goes to general counsel with the Department of Public Health, which right now is Steve Garrett in Atlanta. He's got 20 days to allow a hearing. Once he has the hearing, if he says no permit suspended or even revoked, he has the authority to revoke the permit and put him permanently out of business. They want to appeal that hearing, it goes to Georgia Superior Court. So the process goes on. We've, like I said, for 21 years, I won't name, none of them in Wayne County, but I won't name neighboring counties, but we had one where we built up the case over a 2.5-year period to where this facility, they're using the same sheets, we're not seeing evidence they're cleaning between customers, exposed wiring, rips in the carpet. This went on for a 2.5-year period where really the facility was neglected. The other case was really a mold case to where mold was getting worse and worse, and over a period of about a year, you had mold throughout 75% of the facility. That permit was revoked, so they were put permanently out of business. But that would be the process. And I'm here to entertain any questions. I won't take up the whole time on the agenda tonight, but if anyone has a specific question with the tourist accommodation program, I'd be glad to answer it.
In the process of this inspection, you said you have to go to the same room to find the same infraction. If they got 75 rooms, if the same infraction is in either one of those other 74
Well, that's where you would build a case over, all right, you might have cleaned up rooms 24 and 27, but, hey, you got this problem in 34 and 35. Well, you didn't tell me to clean up 34 and 35. You see, yeah, it's a tedious process, so.
Yeah, that's,
you know.